boys tonight with the kids. Man, was it ever crazy as caca. I don't ever want to take all three of these hell spawns out to dinner again. See you online. The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast.
Is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. Hosted by three BFFs, Daddy DWALLY, Chipotle Bear, and Bubble Boy and Seven.
And new intern, X-Bacon Gamin'.
This is Cortana. And remember, don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it. As always, Spartans, see you online.
Oh, hello. Daddy DWALLY here, and welcome to The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. Before we get started, I might have to demote our producer, and he knows. He knows he's nodding in agreement. He knows why. Jose, welcoming co-host, aka Gamerscore 53,331 plus in parentheses 10,071. Explain this. I'm guessing alternate accounts, and why were you nodding your head in agreement, Jose?
I'm nodding my head in agreement because I have worked very hard this week, and I did not have a chance to upload our new intro, which I don't feel. I'm not sorry for Dan. I'm sorry for Bacon because I owe it to Bacon.
Exactly.
I'm very sorry, Bacon. I swear to you, before 2024, that will be on our show.
We are
rapidly after this show tonight.
Bacon, I'll have you know, I did make it, and I'm very proud of it. It took
Dan said he was going to make it for like 8 months, and he made it 2 weeks ago, and all of a sudden he's busting my balls.
No. Bacon needed to earn it. Okay, he was an intern.
I became a permanent member. I became a permanent member of the staff first this year, so we're approaching the 1 year mark.
So. Joining us as always, X-Bacon Gamin' BG3 Superfan. Welcome to the show,
gentlemen. The fantasy football playoffs have started. I took the number 9 draft pick and turned that into the number 3 seed this year. I'm a football
quick
expert.
Question. Are you, or was it a snake draft? Because a 9 on a snake draft, pretty good position.
Dude, my wife has gotten the number 1 pick 2 years in a row, and every year she picks Christian McCaffrey and wins this. I don't know how she keeps getting first pick. If you win, you should be the last pick, but somehow
really?
It's karma.
Is he really tearing it up on fantasy? I mean, he's good. I know he's really good.
C-Max he's ridiculous. Valor's own Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, that's right.
He's tearing it up in the dating world. He's dating Olivia Cupo.
I don't know who that is, but
I've seen him dead.
Pictures. Guys, before we get started, I want you to rate my swag tonight. What do you guys think?
You're ready to get in a jet and take off to Mach 10, son. You look good.
I am wearing, of course, the Halo Tanker Bomber jacket, the Fractured Entrenched limited edition jacket, along with this sweet kind of glowy Xbox logo. Very cool. I saw a lot of nerds giving me the eyeballs tonight when I was at Chili's, and they were
giving me the eyeballs.
They were very appreciative of my cool shirt. So, guys, let's jump into some nerd chat shoutouts for the week. Huge TNC shout out to X Burke 550. He wrote on the day our last episode aired. He said, "My Lord, Xbox in 2024 will top this year. Thanks for the cast." I mean, I hope so, but
he's absolutely right.
He had a banger slanger of a year, and it's shaping up real nice these next few years, or just the future of Xbox in general, you guys. And I'm not even gonna go where
Don't give Bacon that fuse. You're giving him the lighter over here.
We are sitting pretty. So shout out to Xberg. We really do appreciate it. Thank you for the comment. And as always, huge nerd chat shout out to BigBox 1431. To the hosts of the number 1 Xbox podcast on YouTube. Thank you, Big Box. Appreciate that.
Oh, man.
The Game Awards showed us about 50 games. If you had to quickly guess, what percentage of those games will you play? And what percentage of those games will you appreciate? Is there a disconnect between post-show hype and what we'll experience after all these games release? Keep up the high degree of excellence, y'all. Walker, Texas Ranger was unironically great. Catch you next week. Huge shout out to Big Box boys. Did anyone actually do the percentages of
like from last year?
No, just the games. Like, did you do your personal?
I did not, but my guess, I was thinking about this. My guess is probably 20%. I probably
Go
will
ahead.
play about a fifth of the games, right? So 50 games, probably about 10 of those from that show. I'll play more than 10 next year, but not all those games appeal to me. And that's not, again, I don't have to do that. We got Luke in the comments shouting hiya. Good to see you.
Shout out, Luke. We can Jose pick. Will you pick up Luke? Will you pick?
Look, there's some people want to ride too. Pick them up.
Absolutely, Luke. I know we're going to be on Christmas break. All of us here, teachers soon. We'll be in touch, but we'd love to have you or Logan or both you guys on the show sometime. Back to the game question. I don't know, man. I kind of go back and forth because part of me wants to be like Bacon, right? Where Bacon plays lots and lots of games, and no offense, he doesn't finish a lot of them. That's totally fine. But part of me also, like, I just know my experience is that I want to finish a game, right? And so that's, I think, the eternal struggle that I have is that half the time I want to do that, half the time I don't. So I don't have a good answer there, but I bet 20% is probably what I'll play from this year's Game Awards reveals. Bacon, how about you?
Well, I'll probably play at least 50% of them, and I'll finish 5% of them. But I'll use Far Cry 6 as a prime example. I was crazy excited for that game because who doesn't love Gustavo Fring from
Breaking Bad?
Breaking Bad. I was like crazy excited. I'm like, oh, this dude. I just never got around to buying it, and now it's in Game Pass, and I'm going to play it in Game Pass. But I don't like getting caught in that vicious cycle of hoping everything comes to GameSs. But as you guys saw, I was about ready to buy 6 new games last night. So I buy.
Did you not pull the trigger on that thing? I thought
I got till the 10th. So I got to decide if I really want God of War again. That's the hang up. But then I don't really like Horizon, so I'm not sure why I'm buying that either.
So why do you need to buy all of these, Bacon? Why don't you just buy the
just
ones
because
you
I want the games because I'm selling my PS5.
Okay. Here first. So Big Box. I just looked through all of them now. I believe. I think I'm at. Okay, yeah, I am. So I have 10 games out of the 50 that I am going to play. So what is that? So 1/5. So 20% I will actually be playing, and then another 10 I appreciate and admire and probably won't get to. So that's pretty good, right? That's 2/5. What is that? So 20%. Wait, no, 40%. 40%. 40%. I will either play or appreciate versus the 20% that I'm definitely going to play. So you're right, but here's the big thing. I do appreciate all the announcements. At least I'm just looking through right now. It's a very diverse selection of games. I got to give Keeley some credit there. There were a lot of different games there, and if you can't find something in there that you enjoy,
it's fair.
Then you're not a real gamer, as far as I'm concerned. And then what was the second part? Is there a disconnect between post-show hype and what we'll experience after all these releases? Probably, right? Like we're really high on Blade and OD, but when are we going to see these games?
Are we all hype on OD though? Like I think we're excited.
Jordan Peele. I'm hype on Jordan
Peele,
absolutely.
But for Peele is different than for OD.
He's a part of it.
No idea what that game
he's hyping it up. Dude, and this is a first Xbox exclusive Hideo Kojima joint. I got to be excited for that. As much as I make fun of our boss, Hideo Kojima. And to be honest, I can't remember the last game of his that I really loved. It was probably Metal Gear Solid 4.
2?
4.
4. It's great.
PS3.
It's the Patriots.
Yeah, exactly. Because it had it up so well. So yeah. So go ahead, Bacon.
We have no idea what that game is to start. And secondly, I'm feeling Kojima's game got canceled by that was Google Stadia, right? And so it feels like we just picked it up to say we picked it up. And I hope he's not just taking Xbox's money. I mean, it's feathering the cap of Xbox for sure. And then back to the other statement, since the reveal of the Series X at that Game Awards in 2019, was it? Have we really had a reason to be as hyped as we are this year? I mean, it's different level for us because we're all Xbox supporters in this chat. So it's, our hype levels are pretty high because Xbox showed up and showed out. Most years I'm just like, okay, I'll play that or I'll play that. So my hype levels have never really been high after a Game Awards. So this is actually one of the first times I've been like, oh, okay.
You're right. Yeah.
Well, it's hard. It's hard to be hyped because even the ones that are close when they're like 2024, that could be June. That could be November. And so it's like it's hard to be hyped because even though I'm excited, we're happy to see so much coming to the garden. I don't know what's the word I'm thinking. Ecosystem is the word I'm looking for. Sorry. It's still far off that it's hard to get hyped from. I do want to bring up, because Luke is saying the same thing in the chat about the OD and stuff. Did you guys hear that thing about that in the trailer for OD? There were like the words that spell out the word Atami. The letters are like hidden in it, and Atami loosely translates to Silent Hill. So like if that's tied to Silent Hill, that's cool. Like again, Jordan Peele and Silent Hill could be dope. But
tied to what was the game? The PT.
Well, that was also a Silent Hill thing. Though.
Yeah.
PT was also tied. I mean, I like it. But
they can't have.
But it's too early to know. I just don't know what it is. Like because it was people screaming at the screen.
But again, I agree. I have no idea what this thing is, and it could just literally be faces talking to me the whole time. But regardless, if it's Hideo Kojima on Xbox as an exclusive, and Jordan Peele, guys, Jordan Peele, he's a great director as far as the fine line with directing the scary movie / comedy / just whack ideas out there. I'm all in. And you're right. We don't know what it is, and it could suck for all we know. But as of right now, I'm hyped. Sorry, let me go back. Odie looks so lame because we know. Luke, come on, man. You're not at all. Like, just the people involved, though. It's got to be something. Like,
are you telling me it's the next Seaman? Do you remember that game on the Dreamcast with the fish with the face?
We just should be excited because it's something new.
That's fair.
I mean, honestly, Luke, can we all agree? Like, we're not getting, a sequel number 5 to whatever favorite franchise is on your favorite Xbox, or PlayStation console, especially at this point. So if it's Death Stranding energy, then snooze. Okay, here's the thing. I have not played that, but I plan on playing that on my PC because it is available in the Windows Store. So I'm gonna get.
Dan agrees with this next comment 1,000%. He talks about this all the time with games. Luke said, I think every time Keeley spotlights Kojima diminishes its light, and Luke, I don't want to play a movie. You say that all the time.
Luke, I completely agree with you on that, Luke. But Luke, I could have swore I was just listening to you guys talk about a game. Like you were just excited about something. You were just talking about this. I can't remember if this was on Expansion Pass or something. That's what it was. You were all excited about like a third-person, narrative-driven action event, a PlayStation first-party game. You were talking about how you want Xbox
Blade. He was excited for Blade for that.
But there's a difference. A PlayStation, there's a lot of cutscenes and there's a lot of movie watching. You're telling me when you're playing Last of Us, you're not basically watching a movie first and then some gameplay afterwards. Bacon's right there with me. I know you agree. So I don't know.
Unskippable cutscenes too.
Oh my gosh. And Ghost of Tsushima, that was insane, guys. I'm sorry. Don't get me started on that. Luke, I agree. We know nothing, but I can be a little. I'm not like super hyped for. I'm way more hyped for Blade, but I am excited. What I mentioned earlier for the Jordan Peele aspect of this, that I am the Hideo Kojima part. So, very excited nonetheless. And you're right, we are all hyped, but I think we're all, like Bacon was saying, we're all super hyped this year because Xbox gave us some great things, and not like we haven't been able to celebrate that in a long time. And I think Luke and Captain Logan were also saying the same thing. So. Shout out to Luke. Shout out to the expansion pass. Let's jump into some Xbox news for the week, Jose.
News team, assemble!
And I forgot to mention earlier, it is December 14th, 2023. I can't believe it, guys. We're 11 days from Christmas? That's insane. That's when we are recording, and this is episode 137 of the Nerd Chat. Deja Vu said The Last Ronin. See, I'm not that interested in that. I already played Wulong.
What?
So
that looks amazing. I'm so pumped for The Last Ronin.
Jose, you didn't like Wulong. It's the same. It's going to be the same.
No. Last Ronin is the Ninja Turtle game. You're talking about the other one from the show.
No, I'm talking
The Last Ronin. Yeah, no, Rise of the Ronin. No,
Rise of the Ronin.
Rise of the Ronin.
Okay. All right. You're right.
Deja Vu Ronins.
I am pumped for that, and Grace and I are still reading that on the Turtles. And like I mentioned to Luke, they kind of spoil who the last turtle is very early. Guys, let's move into news story number 1. It's the title of this week's episode, Xbox Year in Review. We all got our awesome link from Xbox, and I'm so proud they did this because I'm pretty sure didn't they skip this last year, Bacon? And it was kind of
true
like
achievements. We had to do it through true.
yeah, it was kind of and they learned their lesson. They're like, we're not going to mess that up this time because it was a bad look. Because even this year, with Nintendo doing it, I don't remember if Nintendo did last year. I think they did, but maybe that was their first time. So shout out to Xbox for doing that. Jose, I have my stats. I'm going to present my screen.
Go ahead.
With you right now. I feel like I'm on a Zune call right now.
Zune, as in the music player from Microsoft back in the day.
I love my Zune. There it is. All right, it's on Xbox. I said, what a great year of gaming it's been. I still have other games to catch up on, but 2023 will definitely go down as one of the GOATs. My most played games. Here we go. My 2023 year in review, total play time, 1,732 hours.
Impressive.
Jose, I had 69 games.
Nice. I don't have that sound, but nice.
Oh gosh, dang it, Jose. 26,750 gamer score points. Bacon is jealous of that one. 1,070 achievos unlocked. It's pretty insane, actually.
1,000 achievements. You are a machine.
What I was proud of this too. 104,000 rewards points. So that means I have $100 free, more than $100 in Microsoft points. My top gameplay month was March. 34% action adventure, 33% shooter, 25% RPG or platformer. Other pretty well rounded there. 3 different.
Who's your number one? Is Halo your number one?
Number one played game, Halo Infinite, 174 hours, top 5% of active players, the most active players. Number 2 most played game, Starfield, 151 hours. Look at that gamer score, 1,000 out of 1,000. Very proud of that. And my rarest achievement, Life Begets Life. I unlocked that on September 17th. Only 0.39% of 0.39% of players have unlocked it. I'm actually, surprisingly, I'm only in the top 10%. A lot of people are playing a lot of Starfield.
What was that achievement for? Life Begets Life. I'll look it up. Keep going.
Yeah, please do. Is it getting to level 100 or is it? It's not, is it? And then my third most played game was, what did I tweet? What was my tweet? Oh, PUBG. It's insane. Like I still can't believe that. But going into how I stack up, I'm in the top 5% of players for hours played. I'm in the top 5% for gamer score, and I'm in the top 5% in achievements unlocked. And we might as well tie into PlayStation as well here, guys. My PlayStation wrap up, I only had 55 hours of gameplay this year. And my top played game was Bloodborne. I had 120 trophies, 3 platinums, and I was the friend maker. I made 1 new friend on PlayStation.
Probably me. It was Bacon. I'm sure it was.
And so the 3 games I played on my PS5 was Bloodborne, Super Perils of Baking. Shout out, I did a sweet tweet. Shout out to Colin Moriarty over at Last Stand, by the way, guys. He retweeted my hilarious tweet of me getting the collector's edition. Go watch that. It's awesome. And Astro's Playroom was the other game I played. Honestly, if I didn't play Bloodborne, it would have been at like 20 hours because I just played Super Perils and I just played Bloodborne like recently. So shout out to the PS5. And then you know what? We might as well throw in Nintendo. Oh, wait. Let's get this one. This is one of my favorite pictures, Bacon. Let's just get that on the stream.
Man, I gotta get that from you.
Demonetized.
Crying Jim Ryan on my PlayStation 1.
I will literally break into your house to get that.
Dude, it's $4. Just go buy from Last
It's on their
Stand.
site, bud, right now.
Yeah, dude. You better do it though. They did take it off. And
How much
then,
is shipping? 20?
No, it's free. Metroid Dread was one of the best games I played this year, possibly supplanting Super Metroid for me. And then I said Skyward Sword. I'm still dragging through that one. So my favorite game was Metroid Dread on Nintendo. I played 34 hours on that, 30 hours on Skyward Sword HD, and 1 hour in
Assassin's Creed collection.
I'm enjoying it. It actually looks really good. I tried to play it on my Xbox. You can, I guess I can stop. I was going to replay it on Xbox, but it looks terrible, you guys, because it's the 360 one. And I think it's worse than the Switch one. The Switch one actually runs at 1080. And it might even be 60. I can't remember. And it looks really good. So I'm actually excited to jump into that every now and then. So who would like to go next? Wait, shout out to Expansion Pass. Luke said, just finished my Operation Battle Pass in Halo, starting Season 3 Pass, and it is bad.
I told him I skipped 3. I skipped 3 and went to 4. And if I have time, I'll go back. But I didn't love
man.
Season 3 stuff.
Humble brag, I've got all of them unlocked.
With your 172 hours. Do you realize that's as much time as they allow a retired person in my district to come back and teach when they retire? They can only teach 180 hours a year. You did that in Halo alone. That is insane.
When did they start enforcing that? That's got to be new, isn't it?
That's a para rule.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, by the way, I looked up your achievement, Life Begets Life. You gathered 500 organic resources in Starfield.
Yes, that one was a pain in the butt. I had to like literally go to just plants and just pick off all the stuff. So
crazy. I'll go next.
Let's hear your stats, Jose. Put them up.
So I only have Xbox because I don't own a PlayStation. I have nothing against them. I just don't own one. And we just got our Switch recently, and it's my daughter, so it's mostly her stuff. So I haven't really gotten there. But my year in review. So I am currently at 53,000 gamer score, which is why I'm proud. And the reason why in my tagline I added a plus 10,000, that's because that's how much I added this year was 10,000, which
nice. That's pretty good, Jose. That's
compared to last year. I'm pretty pumped about the plus 10,000. That's a good score for me. 40 total games this year. I'm pretty happy about that. And 500 achievements. I'm nowhere near Dan's 1,000, but that's pretty good considering Dan plays an ungodly amount of Xbox in his life, which I'm proud of him for. Number one game. Anyone want to guess what it is? It's kind of a funny story.
I don't know.
Tinykin.
That was last year, but no, that's a good guess.
Oh boy.
Oh, that was too short of a game.
Oh.
Hogwarts, or I'm not sorry, not Hogwarts was not my number one. My number one was it was Hogwarts because look at my top month was in February. Do you remember what happened in February?
Your balls got cut off.
I mean, technically no, but
they were severed connection.
A little snip, snap happened in February, and so that is why I played so much that month. But it was a wonderful game. 56 hours in Hogwarts Legacy.
Oh, look at those numbers. Proud of you.
Which was great. The rarest achievement. 8% have it. The Good Samaritan. Next was Call of Duty. I was surprised that was my number 2 game.
Wow.
But I'll take it.
Well, dude, according to True Achievements, that was my number 1 most played, but it wasn't even on this Xbox one. So I don't know what's going on. I think they combine the hours on True Achievements with Modern Warfare 2, which I did play, I think, and Modern Warfare 3. But this seems more like.
The interesting thing is that it said that my rarest achievement was the first step, which is like the first achievement you get, but only 5% of players have that. I don't understand how that works. Maybe that's
no. First step that's getting to level 55, and I don't have that yet.
Oh,
so that makes sense.
Gotcha, 5%. And then Starfield, of course, which I also loved, and One Giant Leap was my favorite part. That was finishing the game, which is really great. So,
yep.
Man, it was a great year for gaming. Even better than the year before. Again, 40 games. I was like, really, that was cool, man. I played a lot of great stuff this year.
So action adventure is your number 1, then 24% shooter, 23% role playing. So yeah, so very, very similar actually to me as well.
Yeah, we played a lot of games that are similar, man. So it was a great year of gaming. I'm really happy, man, for sure. Excited for the new year and maybe PC gaming. We'll see.
Yeah, yes. Dude, I love this hog right here. Dude, by the way, before we speaking of PC gaming real quick, Jose, did you know that Remnant 2 runs at like 720p in the performance?
Really?
Yes. It's bad, dude. And I was playing on native
on
4K
Xbox.
with my 3070. No, I didn't even have it doesn't couldn't even select DLSS. It was whatever. It might have been FSR. Yeah, exactly. It might have actually been off. So I'm just throwing that out there, Jose. I'm getting smooth 4K 60 native.
Okay. All right. Bacon, you want to pull yours up and share the screen, or do you just want to tell us what you did?
Bacon, do we need to walk you through how to
screen I'm sharing here? There it is.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm clicking right now. My bad. There you go.
All right, fellas. 1,161 hours, and then the shocking
90 games.
90 games. That's not even possible, right? Okay. Added 12,061 gamer score.
Just barely beating out Jose.
Just added 621 achievos. In my defense, I played a lot of PC, not on.
You played 90 games, and you only beat me like 100 achievements. I'm pretty proud of myself. I'm just saying.
Most of my game, I played a lot on Epic and stuff like that, so I don't get credit for a lot of that.
True.
But
that's true.
I'm surprised I only added 94,000 rewards points. That's the shocking part. Then we rolled
Wait,
in
no,
here.
go back up to your percentages. And by the way, everyone, Bacon plays a lot of PC gaming, so he had actually a decent amount. So, but this is including PC Game Pass though too. So
Yeah, PC Game Pass. That's where I probably did the majority of my gaming. Was
Yeah.
PC
Bro
Game
Force, Vampire Survivors, greats.
Pass. Sifu.
Still waiting to play State of Decay, guys. Dude, we should play that with Matt.
That
Screw
would be
that.
better.
We should play. Yeah, there we go. Matt. We're switching to State of Decay. That's actually way better than all the other ones. So go ahead. Sorry.
God. So we're gonna screw. I did get top 5s on everything too, but the amount of
Just like
time I
me.
play on other platforms, I'm actually quite shocked with that. And number one game, of course, Starfield. I did not know I put 134 hours into that game, but here we go. And
Dead Cells is
Dead
your number
Cells.
2.
so much time in that simple game, bro. And then, of course, I'm Halo Infinite, 77 hours.
Nice.
Still got a little
Love to
bit of
see it.
achievos, even though I've
Bacon, did we play
completed
co-op on this together?
We
We
did.
must have, right? Okay.
We
So
did.
yeah, that helped. By the way,
And,
I would
my,
gladly go back to co-op Halo if anyone wants to
my
run.
PlayStation 1, I just have it right here.
Okay, let's hear
I,
PlayStation
I
stats.
did 20 hours in my PS5 compared to 1,000 plus on my Xbox or on my PC. Most of that's going to be in The Last of Us remake, remaster, rehash, redone.
Mhm.
And then I did a little bit of time in R-Type because that's one of my favorite games from the old arcade days. And then that's about it for PlayStation.
All right. Well,
And I subscribe to their service too, and that's the sad thing.
so do I. But it was actually I pretty much had to, guys, with the cloud saves, but more so with for Bloodborne to like level up. Like I said, there's that one you have to do these chalice dungeons, and I basically saved 10 to 15 hours worth of time because somebody just created a dungeon that could get me to where I needed to go. Otherwise, it would have just been brutal. And I
Hot
needed
take.
the multiplayer.
PlayStation cloud saves are free on PC.
They are.
Now, the more you know.
It's through your launcher. So
Well, guys, that has been our Xbox year in review 2023. Please send us your stats. Write them in the YouTube. Send us a message. We really would like to see those. Deja Vu, I'd like to see yours be.
I want to see Luke's and Logan's too.
I'm surprised my Diablo didn't. Oh, I played that on Blizzard. That's why.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. So many good games like Jedi. Shout out to Jedi. Shout out to
That was
Diablo.
great too.
But we'll talk more about Game Awards in the next few weeks here, or the nerdies, I should say. Guys, do you want to talk about news story number 2 and the Game Pass thing coming to
I
the?
think it's worth mentioning, yeah, for people to know.
All right, news story number 2, and we're a little late on this because we talked just about the Game Awards last week, but this was on the docket, and we're bringing it back up again. So this was back in December 1st. We have no plans to bring Xbox Game Pass to PlayStation or Nintendo. Xbox CEO Phil Spencer on console hardware, the future of Activision Blizzard, and much more. Shout out to Jez Corden when he got this exclusive interview. Basically, boys, it was a fun thing to read, but I don't want to go through it. Everyone's heard a lot of this, but please do make sure and go check out Jez's article. Basically, this was kind of in response to the Xbox CFO Tim Stewart's recent comments regarding Game Pass in a presentation with Wells Fargo, saying that the aim was to bring Xbox Game Pass to any screen that can play games, including Nintendo and PlayStation. Many Xbox fans took that to indicate that Microsoft is preparing for no more hardware on Xbox and going exclusively third party. And this was Phil's response. I'll start by saying we have no plans to bring Xbox Game Pass to PlayStation or Nintendo. It's not in our plans. But I think you hit on the right point of what it means to own an Xbox. The thing I want to be focused on is how do we continue to innovate for our people who've made the commitment to our hardware platform? And how do we continue to make sure that they feel great about their investment in what we've built? I'm obviously going to have my own point of view on our hardware. But I think our hardware teams did a great job with the Series X and the Series S this generation, giving value and performance in the hardware line. I couldn't agree more. I think they knocked it out of the park. When I think about investments in things like Game Pass, cloud gaming, crossplay, cross-save, ID at Xbox, all of these things, I want us to continue to innovate so people on our console feel like they're making investments in console that matches their commitment they're making to us. Game Pass is one of the things, over the last 5 years we built and we continue to grow. It's on PC, it's on the cloud, and it's an important part of the Xbox console identity. I think it will continue to be that, and we will continue to look at future ways to innovate across our game portfolio and platform. Guys, there it is. I remember Colin over at Sacred Symbols made a big deal about this, calling this the Sega moment, saying this is where Xbox is going to go third party. And then the next week after this article, or I guess the next day, Ches came out with this article and Phil cleared it up. But play a little bit devil's advocate. Bacon, do you think, is Phil lying to us right now? Do you think at all? Is he just doing this to cover up? Because Joe, I was listening to shout out to the PS Trophy Room. Joe's like, why would the CFO say that if he didn't mean it? He knows what's going on. Is Phil just trying to cover up because this is a part of their plan? And do you think there's some truth to what the CFO? Why would he say that, Bacon? Why
they already are a third-party publisher. Minecraft, freaking Call of Duty, Minecraft Dungeons. What else? We sent Ori to the Switch.
Hi-Fi Rush, man.
I guess, but no,
So,
Hi-Fi Rush is not.
when you
Hi-Fi's
think-
only on Xbox and PC.
So here's the thing. If you had to choose between PlayStation Plus or Game Pass, if it was on the platform, given both offerings as they sit right now, if you had both and you could only subscribe to one, if you were a PlayStation fanboy, which one would you subscribe to?
PlayStation, because I'm on PlayStation.
Well, if I'm a fanboy, I'll probably be
Game Pass
PlayStation.
because there's so many more games in Game Pass, newer releases. So is Sony going to cut their nose off to spite their face to make 30% to have nobody subscribe to their service? This will never happen because those platforms would never allow it to happen.
I agree with you on that.
I mean, I'm sure Phil and the us shareholders, we like our money. We would be happy to see Game Pass on all those platforms, but none of those platforms would allow it because it would cannibalize their own service because it is such a good value. So it's a moot point. It's not even worth speaking about.
Jose, any thoughts on this?
I mean, I don't know for sure. I do tend to trust Phil at his word, but I got to say, his look in this photo, he's got that look on mom's face on Christmas morning when you open that present she said she didn't get you. That's that look on his face right now. But I mean, it is hard to believe that the CFO would bring that up. I mean, it's also one of those where, like, remember, it's a big company, and so like lots of information happens. It could have been the plan.
Jose, come on.
I mean, I think that they, like Bacon said, they would like that. I think that Xbox would love for PlayStation and Nintendo to adopt their store, but I think that's a hard sell. Like, I think there's a better odds of their games that are exclusives coming to Xbox, not necessarily Game Pass, right? Like, I think that's a higher chance than this, but I would certainly welcome it, I guess.
What about this? Do you think there's more of a chance with Nintendo, though? Do you think there's any chance with Nintendo?
Yeah. Depending on how powerful the new Switch is, they actually have a relationship with Nintendo.
Or some sort of
Nintendo didn't take them to court and force them to spend billions of dollars to get Activision. So.
And game streaming maybe over there. Yeah. Or, with this Call of Duty deal that's supposed to happen.
Then maybe they'll kick us down a Mario every now and again and we can enjoy it on consoles.
If anything, it would just be like, no, we'll let you do that, but we're not giving you anything.
I'm sure it would be more of the Game Pass core, though, would go to either of them, just the exclusive Xbox first parties, because you don't want the new new third-party releases that get day and date in Xbox. You wouldn't want that in their service because the ponies are going to pay for those. So
yeah, it's just interesting to think about. I own all the consoles, but I primarily play on Xbox and PC. And the main reason now is because like I can't play Halo on PlayStation. If there was a world where Halo was on PlayStation and Forza Horizon or Forza Motorsport and other Xbox titles that I really enjoy, Hi-Fi Rush, Bethesda games, then maybe I'd be okay with it. But that's not happening. So I will continue to play on my Xbox. And I'd have to get a third-party controller that's shaped like an Xbox controller because, my God, I can't stand them. Moving on to news story number 3, another big one that we missed. And I didn't even really get to talk to you guys about this. Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer number 1 premiere December 4th, 2023. It has 898,171 views. And in the description, doesn't say anything. It just tells you the name of the song. Love is a Song, A Long Road by Tom Petty. And I'm just curious to hear what you guys think because I'll throw it over to Jose. He just recently beat Grand Theft Auto 5 for not a big Grand Theft Auto guy in general. What did you think of the GTA 6 trailer?
I mean, I'll be honest, it looked very fun. And Dan is absolutely right. And again, I don't mean to keep throwing this back to Luke, but I was listening to them this morning on the way to work, and like Luke is the same way. He's like, I'm just not a big Theft Auto guy. And I am the same way. Like I never played San Andreas when it came out. I watched Bubble Boy play some of Vice City, but I never played it myself. I never played 4. Really the first GTA game that I really played and got into was 5, and I didn't play it until last year. Like it's already been out a decade. And some of it was honestly peer pressure because that's what my friends do. But honestly, I did also have a good time. I really like finally understood why people like the game. And I don't inherently have anything issue with it. I just like when I was younger and people were like, it's a game where you like punch prostitutes and do this. And I was just like, that doesn't sound fun to me. Like, I don't have any interest in doing that. But I think what I really appreciate about 5 was like the character development is so good. And I love that you were playing 3 very different people.
I don't think
Franklin. Franklin was by far my favorite character. Although I like the chaos of Trevor, but I have a lot of chaos in my daily life at work that like I was like, I would have not enjoyed Trevor as a student. We'll say it that way. Right. But it was a fun game. And as after playing it, I was like, okay, I get it. I definitely would love to play 6 kind of from the start, just because part of coming into 5 late, like granted, it was a very polished experience and I appreciate that piece of it, but I also missed out on so much of that like cultural stuff in the gaming sphere, in the pop culture and media, and I didn't know any of that stuff. And so I would like to have that experience, I think, with 6. And I'll be super honest with you, like having not only a protagonist that is female, but also Latina, like that definitely, for obvious reasons, speaks very highly to me.
Big booty bees, right, Jose?
I mean, that's not where I was going, but you can certainly put that in the positive column. But I just thought, I think it looks cool, man. And I think they're doing a good job bringing in a lot of like real life popular culture stuff like that. That's pretty real. I mean, there's a degree of that could be sad for sure, because it is real life, but man, they're putting a lot into this game. And if it truly looks as beautiful as it did in that trailer, and that's what everybody's claiming, that's like true gameplay.
That's what the developers are saying.
That's damn impressive. Like so good. Impressive. So
I know I want to throw back to you on the social aspect for a second, but just shout out to Deja Vu. Deja Vu said GTA Online is so fun. I agreed. Deja Vu, when that came out back on Xbox One, me, Alan, Chance, even my brother, we put serious hours in a GTA Online. It was incredible. Just the open world atmosphere and being able to do literally anything in that game. And I thought they did a fantastic job. Who was saying this? Maybe it was Luke. Somebody was saying how like they didn't really give you much in Grand Theft Auto single player wise, and they kind of owe us. Actually, this might have been Colin, and I was like, Colin clearly didn't play any of the heists, because those heist missions were very detailed, and they basically were single player missions that you could play co-op, and it was very filled with depth and meaning and powerful missions. So I really did appreciate it. Shout out to GTA Online, Deja Vu. I'm all aboard GTA 6. I'm probably the biggest Grand Theft Auto fan here. And it's not because I like Jose. I didn't play San Andreas still to this day. I didn't play Vice City either. I played the original ones on PlayStation, the top-down one, and then I played 3 that was on PS2. And then I kind of skipped in there. Played 4 really, really, really late on the 360. And then when I was there day 1 and 5, and I respect what Rockstar does. They're on a whole nother level, especially after Red Dead 2. I think we're going to get something very special. Jose, quick question. Shout out to Chris Raygun over on Sacred Symbols. He thought of this idea, or he suggested this idea. What do you think about the TikTok element in the game? He was saying that what if they have like a real TikTok that you can upload in the game, and then you can like look up real player stuff on there that's happening in the world? Or what if like they have some sort of partnership with TikTok or like X or something, and you can apply TikTok, and they have like uploading it from your game into it, like for real?
I mean, I think that's kind of cool. That seems excessive though, man. Yeah. And that honestly worries me a tiny bit, because I'm sure there'll be a couple of people that just go all in on that feature, and they'll be like making YouTube videos and stuff like that. But the reality is, like, to the average gamer, especially to honestly, even the like really involved gamer like us, I don't know if that's really what I'm looking for in the game. And also, like, TikTok is a little bit of the bane of my existence at work again, so not my favorite thing.
I know. I don't know.
Huge
And
shout out to Ains. He just joined us in the chat too, man. Good to see you, bud.
Shout out to Porsche Power Ains over at Seasoned Gaming.
One other thing I just want to mention that I do want to hear from Bacon too is that for people that didn't see the trailer, which if you're in the gaming world, I'm guessing you probably did, because even people that like don't even like games.
I showed this to my wife and she's like, it looks so realistic. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Just to talk about how successful this trailer has been, it is the most viewed video game reveal in 24 hours on YouTube ever, like in the history
Isn't it like
of YouTube.
the top 3 like views ever or something?
90 million views in 24 hours. That is insane. Like the amount of money they're getting just from that is insane.
Yeah.
It's the most viewed non-music video on YouTube in 24 hours, surpassing Mr. Beast's one of his videos.
Yeah.
Mr. Beast's video is 59 million and this did 90. It almost doubled it. So it is truly a viral phenomenon. And I guess the only tiny downside I could think of is that it's a lot of pressure on the Rockstar team. And not that they can't handle it. They have the talent to do that. But I get a little bit worried about what happened to Starfield, right? Like you start getting those expectations a little too high and it's an unattainable reality, right? It's going to be a fun game. They're going to do a great job. They always do. I just want to let them cook. I want to let them fully bake it. And I want to enjoy it when it comes out. Sorry, Bacon, go ahead.
As far as the trailer goes, this is a game that creates its own weather pattern. I mean, the whole industry is going to have to change what they do around the launch of this game and the post launch of this game. Let's be honest. It's going to 50 million in the first day copies. I don't know. It's going to be ridiculous. I've always had a fundamental problem with Rockstar games, and it has to do with their controller schemes and sloppy aiming mechanics. So I've never finished Red Dead nor Grand Theft Auto because they
Either of the Red Deads?
No, they're terrible. Their control
jump in
schemes
real
are freaking awful.
I was
Okay,
just
go
going to
ahead.
say they have to improve that. And you're absolutely
Yes.
right. I wanted to mention
And
that.
that's
They
what I
have
was-
to make these controls good. Not
from
even modern. They
playing-
make them good.
From playing Grand Theft Auto and going into Red Dead, I thought for sure they would fix them, and they didn't. It almost felt like it got worse.
Red Dead 2.
So I'm actually buying Red Dead on Epic probably tonight, and I'm going to play it on
Lord.
PC right next to where I'm playing Grand Theft Auto. And keyboard and mouse substantially fixes all those problems because you can be a lot more fine tuning with your mouse, and you can actually hit things. I cannot stand I cannot believe they've gotten away with those sloppy aiming mechanics. So neither game I finished, but I will finish them on PC because it just it's way better. But the problem with this trailer is at the end of it said for consoles. If they are stupid
Here we
enough to do
go.
another year of pissing off PC
They
players,
are.
their largest market. And I watched some interview and some dude's like, it's so we can make it the best on PC and we can work out all the bugs. And yeah, dude, you got to be kidding me. You're trying to make us double dip, and it's probably going to make me keep a
And you're
console
going to.
just to double dip, and I'll run keyboard and mouse on my console because I know they're not going to fix those aiming mechanics. But game's going to be a juggernaut, and the game is going to be
Deja vu. It's not, man. Sorry.
it's going to be talked about. It's not deja vu. I've seen too much. They did the same
It's
thing with
not.
Grand Theft Auto 5. They did the same
did it
thing
with
with
Red
Red
Dead.
Dead. Yes. They delay the port for a year, even though it's designed on a PC. I still don't understand that. I'm not a dev and I don't pretend to be one, but you're going to have to buy a console if you want to play this game.
And I agree with you, Bacon, because PC is growing. Like people,
It's the largest by far.
it's. I mean, I'm probably going to be a full-time PC game player as soon as I get those PlayStation games. I am, or trophies, I should say. So I don't get it either. You're right. It's whack. They need to, but again,
But you will
like you
play
said,
the
they're
best-
Rockstar. You're
You
going to
will
buy
play the
it.
best version on PC. Like I'm playing Returnal at 120 frames, where everyone else plays it at 60. Super ultra wide support, all the ray tracing. Every port that comes to PC is substantially better. So can I wait a year to play Grand Theft Auto and play it in the best light? Or am I going to be concerned I'm going to be missing out on, like Chapo said, all the social media buzz and the memes and the hanging out with the buddies, and I'm going to have to play it on inferior hardware? And that's a choice I shouldn't have to make.
Deja vu. Here's some good news for you. Sell me that 4080 for 900. You take three. Actually, no. Sell it to me for 550.
550.
And then I have
Give
a
you a
brand
PS5.
new Series X. I will give it to you that I bought for 350. And then you'll be ready. It's a win-win. You get to enjoy Grand Theft
Then he's
Auto,
gotta buy
make your
another-
cash,
He's got to make it buy another GPU.
and then I get the GPU. Just
And
think
he's-
about it.
He still has a 1080, and I think he has an RX 480 still sitting in his closet because he never can sell his old stuff.
Okay,
'cause
well then,
he he values it.
He's
way too
already
much.
coming back at you with a counter offer here, 1,200 on Newegg.
Again, you could have $900 in your pocket right now,
Well, he could
or
probably-
550 into Series X. I'm
he
just
could
saying.
probably sell it to you for that price and then borrow one of the 2 consoles I don't use to play Grand Theft Auto. But
1K. You checked up the price on me. We're moving on.
you did say 1,000 the other night.
No, he said 900 the other
Did
night.
say
you dirty
900.
liar.
Yes, he did.
He did, exactly. He's jacking it up on me. Good luck. Go sell it. No one on Craigslist is going to buy that from you. Do we want to talk about this Hideo Kojima thing, or can I skip it?
I mean, it would make a good movie.
Would it make a good movie? I don't know. I'm asking.
If he got Daryl Dixon to play the lead, and it
Very quickly, our boss, the movie director himself, Hideo Kojima, said on Twitter just the other day, A24 and Death Stranding will be made into a live action movie. A24 was born into this world about 10 years ago. The presence is singular within the industry. They are like no other. Just like you, Hideo. They are delivering to the world. The films they are delivering to the world are high in quality and very innovative. I have been attracted to their creations, and they have even inspired my own work. Their innovative approach to storytelling aligns with what Kojima Productions has been doing for the last 8 years. Now, we are making a Death Stranding movie together. There are a lot of, quote, game adaptation films out there, but what we are creating is not just a direct translation of the game. The intention is that our audience will not only be fans of the games, but our film will be for anyone who loves cinema. We are creating a Death Stranding universe that has never been seen before, achievable only through the medium of film. It will be born. Hideo could, guys, I take it back. Hideo's getting a little too full of himself, but I am happy for him. This is clearly what he's always wanted. He's this close to directing a movie now. He's not quite. I don't know if they're going to make him the director of this film, but he's going to be very involved. Shout out to our boss, Hideo Kojima. Bacon, you're the only one here who's played any of Death Stranding. It would be a good movie, right? I'm assuming, because
it would be a good
was,
movie,
right?
You make it post-apocalyptic, and
A 3.5 hour movie.
Yeah, you can really get into Daryl Dixon's, backstory and all that jazz. And beautiful game. I still just don't have any idea. I'm walking around with a baby fetus strapped to my belly, and I carry packages and climb up ladders that people left. It was very hard to get in and stay into that game, and most people dropped off. And,
I'm afraid of ladders as is,
hours.
I don't find myself walking around being like, "There's a ladder, I should climb it."
Right.
Deja Vu also played it.
Ains said Miyazaki from Software is Waker. I completely agree. Gameplay wise, absolutely. And you're right. I can't even say stories. Hideo's stories are so out of whack
That's
these
why
days.
I'm worried about OD. Death Stranding is what worries me about OD, to tell you the truth.
Jose, quickly, any thoughts on Hideo's movie endeavors?
Honestly, my only thought is I'm curious how commercially successful this will be, because in the gaming world, he is whether we like it or not, he is a god, right? And so I think that will obviously get him to where he wants. Whether this will translate to cinema that will be successful and then lead to potentially a sequel or another movie, that will be interesting to see, man. I honestly hope for the best for him, again, because in the interest of like elevating video game properties so that people are more vested in the media, I think that's fine. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens and how long the project timeline is, because that could also be a factor.
Let's move on to news story number 5. Quick news stories. We're on quick news stories now, you guys. Baldur's Gate 3 is having a lot of save issues on the Xbox Series consoles, and this has been a widespread issue. And I'm taking this article from Eurogamer by Tom Phillips. Basically, people are losing their save files, and it has to do with quick resume, as always. That's why, guys, I always quit out of my games. I think quick resume is very cool. I don't trust it, and this is why.
I never save out of my games.
In order to avoid this issue, players should save their game and return to the Xbox dashboard and select Quit Game or Save to Quick Resume from the game menu. Home, Game, select, and then choose Save to Quick Resume or Quit when they finish playing. And this is coming from Microsoft's official workaround. And users should not disconnect their console from the power. Users should select Shut Down from the console menu and leave their Xbox connected to power. So this is not even a Larian thing. This is something Xbox is actively working on. Bacon, I'm guessing, thank God you didn't lose your save. You're very lucky right now, because would you have lost your mind if you lost your save file?
I would have been pissed, and then I would have just bought it on PC and played it over there because it's probably way better on keyboard and mouse. They did a pretty decent job of adapting it to controller. Just a lot of wheels and a lot of RB and an LB in to get to your next wheel. I've had zero problems with my save, and I've come in and out of quick resume for the 15 hours I played that game with zero issues. But once I read this, I'm now following their orders because I would hate to lose that save data. But I mean, if Xbox is reporting, it must be a real thing. It's not just Twitter.
Also, remember this just dropped last Thursday, so like it'll be patched sooner than later.
This is a big deal, though. This is a bad look, and I have to agree. I heard a shout out to Lord Cognito and Mr. Maddie. They were talking about this today, and I was like, it's a bad look, dude. This is a big game, and I would be devastated. So, guys, quit out of your games. Regardless, I always quit out of my games. Just the quick resume is nice. Apparently, Jose's just been living and dying with quick resume. I don't trust it.
I live on the edge out here with my games. Don't you worry.
Don't trust it. News story, quick news story. Number 6, Starfield will introduce new ways of traveling next year. This is coming from Matt Wales and from Bethesda on a Reddit post. We've been hard at work on many of the issues that you've posted, and expect an update early next year that will include a large number of in-progress quest fixes, of course, as well as FSR 3 and EXSS. What is XS bacon? What is that? What is that? Is that Intel's?
Yeah, Intel's upscaler.
And then they're also hard at work on many of the new features you asked for city maps, mod support, and new ways of traveling. Stay tuned. These will be rolling out with regular cadence every about 6 weeks, these new updates. So guys, again, Starfield's my game of the year. I'm still in love with it. I just played it the other day, actually jumped back in. I am one of the few people who enjoy jetpacking all around. I always love jetpacks in any game, boosting. So I didn't have as big of a problem with it. And then the maps thing, I feel like is a little overblown. Yes, at first it kind of sucks. You're like, where do I sell this? But at the same time, it forced me or encouraged me to explore the city and figure it out. And once I figured it out, I was good. So these are great quality of life updates. Bacon, what are your thoughts on the updates, or is there something else you think they need to do?
They're addressing a lot of stuff that came up in the reviews. The dropped it to an 83, still an 86 or 87 on PC. This is always hard because if they can add these things in, why couldn't they have been in the game prior to launch? One of the biggest complaints was walking across a barren wasteland trying to get to your next point. And if you had the moon rover from Apollo 3 just there with you, would have been docked for that. I still think there would have been plenty of ammo and people would have found plenty of things to complain about. And that was just the easy low-hanging fruit was traversal. And you're right. And one of the funnest things about Starfield is when you're on a planet with less gravity
and be able to go anywhere. Like it was
freaking
awesome.
all over the place. So,
or even like in New Atlantis, I was getting on the top of those buildings. You bet your buns I was going up there.
So finding new ways to engage in combat. If you lose this one encounter coming this way, then I jetpack over this wall over here up on this, and I start, raining death from above. So
speaking of jetpack, Bacon, did any of you guys get the jetpack perk where you can just float and like stay stationary in the air and aim at people? It is awesome. It totally changed the game for me because you could just float and then just pick people off, move away, float, pick them off. It drains that whatever action points, whatever. I can't remember what it was, but very cool way to play the game.
You're right. And if they're not changing anything fundamentally about the game, I just don't understand why some of this stuff wasn't in here and how the testers or anyone didn't tell them, hey, people could complain about not having a.
What about this, Bacon? Was that a part of their vision, though? They didn't want you to be looking at it.
And I get it. And so do you either stick to your guns and stick with your original vision, or do you fold to the masses who still aren't going to probably play the game just so they can have a Star Wars hover bike, which that'd be pretty cool.
Jose, any thoughts on this, or do you want to move on?
We can move on, man. It's fine.
Quick news story number 7. and I have yet to jump into this. I'm
me
ashamed to say
too.
this. Firefight, King of the Hill, is in Halo Infinite in this latest update, and we're late to the party, guys.
I hear it's tough.
So, and I hear it's good. I hear good things about this. I don't even know if I played King of the Hill Firefight. I enjoyed Firefight. What was that? And that was that in Halo ODST. Was that the first time they did it? I think it was. And yes, you know why I know this? This is pathetic. Ains is going to hate me if he's still here listening to this. I remember I missed out on one achievement on Halo ODST or Halo 3 or something. And it was like you had to complete every round of this firefight mode. And we were right on the last one. And the guy we were playing with at the time, he's like, oh my gosh, my internet's going to cut out, because he was younger. He was like, my parents, he was living with his parents. He's like, they cut it off and then all of a sudden he was just gone. Disconnected. It was like right at mid. It was the most heartbreaking moment. And
What is
we
this?
were
A snap from the Marvel universe? Like,
dude,
you
it
just got-
literally, Jose, it was he was like, oh no, look at and just gone. And cut our game out. And I still haven't gotten the achievement. I should look it up. So we all need to drop into this. Halo Infinite should have won best ongoing game. It's a damn shame that Infinite hasn't gotten recognized for it. And by the way, Ains, if you're still here, I am so.
He said he's always listening, Lebowski.
Oh my gosh. He says he has all achieved. Oh my. This message is held for review. What
I released it. I don't know why I held that message. That's weird.
Ains, I'm so sick of hearing people, and I know you're doing your best to defend, but I hear a lot of people talking trash about how bad Halo is and how, you know, it's just never delivered. And it's basically everyone's forgetting how much people loved Halo Infinite when it shadow dropped that multiplayer. Those first few months were amazing. People were obsessed. The campaign, my favorite campaign, was amazing. Yeah. And then everyone's just like, oh, that's who it was. Mr. Maddie today said how this is like the lowest Halo's ever been. And I was like, dude, what are you talking about? Like,
Steam numbers will say different.
It doesn't even matter about the numbers. Like, it's people who played the game know I could just tell he hasn't played since launch. And it's like, dude, you can't. I'm so tired of these people making these statements who don't play games, who don't play these games. And I know Ains is right there with me. He's constantly defending it, being like, dude, you're just not educated and you're not playing the game. It's true. So sorry, that was my Halo rant.
More like a horde mode, right? It's like
yes.
A whole bunch
if you want to see
play Firefight, Bacon?
If you want to play an awesome video of this, Luke has a short on his channel where he uses a repulsor, and all these dudes, he's just like boink, knocking him off like a Canadian, boink, and he's like knocking these huge brutes off the side. Pro tip: if you're going to play, get that repulsor.
And tweet this out. Have you ever gotten the return to sender medal where you ricochet a rocket that's been shot at you and you kill them?
I did.
Incredible, dude.
I got it in a match, dude. It was so much fun. It was super dope.
They're clowns. No worries. It's all good. Shout out. I know, Ains. Like it's getting, dude, I can't stand it though. It's so frustrating, man, because they're clearly not playing the game. Last news story for the night, boys. Quick news story number 8 coming to Game Pass 2023 straight from the Xbox wire from Megan Spur, community lead. Guys, we jumped into this last night, and I gotta say, I'm excited. Remnant from the Ashes and Remnant 2 is all available on cloud console and PC. It is a play anywhere title, so you can play it on PC, play it on Xbox. Amazing. Spirit of the North came out. Steam World Build is out. Clone Drone in the Danger Zone. I love that name. Might just play it because of that. I got to download and replay Rise of the Tomb Raider. Is available on cloud console and PC. New achievements, Ains. I get to get double dip achievements and play it on PC. While the Iron's Hot is out now. World War Z Aftermath, cloud console PC. Goat Simulator 3, cloud console PC. Against the Storm on PC. Tim Hearts, cloud console PC. And this one just launched today, and I completely forgot about this one. Far Cry 6 cloud console PC. Guys, I'm a Far Cry fan. I'm probably gonna play this, even though I heard it wasn't the best.
Bubble Boy was real down on Far Cry 6.
I know, which was shocking because I was like,
he likes the Far Cries.
And I love Far Cry. They always look good. They're always usually fun. But anyway, those are the games coming to Game Pass as well. And then hold on, leaving. These leave tomorrow. It's too late, guys. Chained Echoes, Opus Magnum, Potion Craft, Alchemist Simulator. I'm pretty sure Bubble Boy was playing that one. And Rubber Bandits are all leaving on the 15th. Boys, I guess we kind of already talked this. Why don't we jump into what have we been playing and or watching, and let's just jump into it. What were your impressions last night? We only played about an hour of Remnant.
Did we play an
Well,
hour?
to be fair, that was like getting through all the tutorial stuff to play
the
together.
tutorial a little slow, right? But keep in mind, this was the first Bacon Unreal 5 engine game I think that I've
It
played.
doesn't look like Unreal 5.
Bacon's not impressed with the visuals. I thought they were fine for what it was. It to describe it to our viewers, it felt like a Diablo, only a third-person shooter. And saying it's Souls-like, I don't know if I agree with that. Is it Souls-like just because if you die, you lose your experience, or you have to like use that to and it respawns enemies? Like
I didn't see a parry button, so maybe that's what
Well,
they're
yet
talking about.
I mean, again, we didn't even finish the first level together.
I mean, I thought the shooting was good, but you're right.
All
We're
amateur.
very early. Jose, besides that, what else have you been playing? Or yours? What were your thoughts on Remnant? Do you want to keep playing?
I do want to keep playing. I mean, I like that we finally got to play together on a game. I wish we had thought ahead and all done homework and gotten to the point where we could join to start, because we spent of the like hour and a half we were together, we spent probably an hour 15 just getting to where like we were in the game, and then Dan had like the wrong settings and we had to back out, and me and Baker were just screwing around.
I didn't have the wrong settings. It was just grayed out for me. I don't know why. It said friends only and just couldn't select.
He reset it and he changed the setting. But it was fun. I like the classes thing for sure. I think that could be super fun. Like I like the healing bullets and stuff like that. I think the part that is Souls like for me that was interesting was the dodging thing, because not in the thing that you and I played together, all of us, but in the prologue when you play that first boss, you know what I'm talking about? I wasn't dodging. I was just strafing and stuff, and then I got whacked and like 80% of my life was gone, and I realized like, whoa, you really do have to dodge. I do see where that piece will come in, and it does make sense that the world stones are kind of like the bonfires and stuff like that. I understand all that. That's fine. I don't have any issues with all of that. The only two complaints I will say right now that I have, because I think I don't care that much about the graphics. I think they look fine. Are I don't like A as a role. That really is going to annoy me, that because I'm used to B as my role, and I don't love the not cross progression thing. That's going to annoy me a little bit. And the truth is, I'd rather just play on Dan's game because he probably cares the most about progression. I don't care if I don't keep mine, but that is a little annoying that like if we're going to play through this whole game together and we haven't played through it once,
well, here's the
only one person gets that.
So here's the positive though. Most of them will all unlock, and I would like to play my world because I did buy some DLC today because I actually had a great time. I got a new character.
Yours.
I bought a character. We got to play through this world so I can get them. So
they're
coming over to my world.
Bobby got his ass.
No, it was like $10. No, Bobby did get me for Diablo, and I did not put in the money for that. So Jose, what else have you been playing?
The only thing I've been playing is Modern Warfare 3. And I don't even think I was going to get into Modern Warfare 3, but we talked about this last week where I bought it and I didn't realize the battle pass ended like 4 days. So I grinded like 2 level 55 in 3 days and stuff.
Passed it. He's past Bacon's level. Insane.
Yeah. But I've been playing a little more. I enjoy it. I think what's hard for me is
the
that
new
like,
Warzone. We didn't really talk about that.
I think it's great. I definitely want to try Resurgence. I do also think I like Resurgence a little bit better, but I didn't mind the Warzone. I do like that it was faster, because that I think was my frustration with like Warzone 1 and 2 was just like,
I agree. That was
the looting thing is fine for a degree, but I would like a little bit of action. And so I like that it's pretty quick and you have to move in that kind of thing. Yes. So I'm excited to keep playing that. I'm excited to see that Alan's jumping in. It was great to see Snelling last night, and Bubble Boy, if he hits it tonight on his parlays, good luck, buddy. I certainly hope that he can join us too, because I think that's what I missed, man. Like it's been really fun getting into the Starfields and getting into like Forza and getting into all these games that are single player and sharing those experiences.
To play a little multiplayer.
But we play games to be with friends, man. And that's how we socialize with each other and maintain those positive male relationships. So I'm excited to get back into that over break a little bit.
Bacon, what about you? What else have you been playing?
Still keeping up with Returnal. I had a run where I got through the third and the fourth bosses on the same run.
So wait, did you beat this game before on PlayStation or no?
No.
Okay.
Just can't stand playing at 60 frames. So
you're using your PS5 controller because you said you had to.
Yeah, I used my DualSense Edge controller. I had my Xbox controller, I tried it and it just didn't feel right, so I killed myself on purpose and left the game to go back to the there's just stuff that the PS5 controller does. So I thought I'd rolled the credits on the game, and turned out now I'm in the higher difficulty zone. So I bet that's gonna be a lifelong game for me.
Tell us your impressions of Baldur's Gate 3. Bacon did it, you guys.
I've had that game for 2 days, and I've already put
60
15
hours.
hours into that game. Yeah, I will never tell anyone to buy that game. Like I
You
can
told
tell
us
people
multiple times.
No, I've told you the game is great, but I'm not ever gonna tell someone to spend their hard-earned money on something that is kind of niche,
Yes.
or niche,
biggest
as the
concern.
informed call it, the niche. It
thought
is
it
a
was-
fan-freaking-tastic game.
I'm so happy you're enjoying it, Bacon.
The
I really
character
am.
development, the dialogue. I've 15 hours in, and I've yet to do the same thing twice.
That's
No
impressive.
similar fetch quests. It is all completely different.
How many times have you had to reload a save because it didn't go? You didn't go on.
Oh, when a character of mine drops at the wrong time, I'll reload the same on purpose because I don't want to have to continually manage their health. But there's so much dynamics in the combat in that game that, status effects and putting magic here, using ranged weapon versus getting up and doing a melee or a shove. You can shove people into chasms. So if you take the risk of getting close up to an enemy just to get a shove in and he misses or blocks that shove, then you're like, oh boy. The dice. I know a lot of people think that it's a dice roll on everything you do. It is not. It's only on story progression type things. No, it's only on story progression stuff. Like when you're trying to persuade someone not to get in a fight with you, then you roll persuasion or intimidation or whatever it is with your stats. So
do you feel like
it passively rolls the dice for you in every combat encounter, but it's not something you see.
Okay.
You'll see a little thing on the top of your screen. It'll be like roll whatever. So only when I run into an orc or goblin and I have to decide, do I want to fight this guy? Do I want to persuade him, make love to him, whatever? That's when I roll it.
Yeah.
And that works freaking awesome. There's stat bumps for your dice roll. You can choose to add those. Like I told you, I ran into some large orc sects. I just saw the barn was rocking, and I'm like, and everyone's like, "Don't go in there, don't go in there." And I'm like, "Well, I got to see what's in there." And they're like, "Don't go in there." And I open it up, and there's a little teeny male orc having sex with these huge female.
We lost it. We got our rating on this podcast.
We didn't,
and demonetized.
Demonetized.
I'm like, what? And then my dialogue option was, I want to join in. So of course I hit that, and then I ended up having to fight both of them. So it is. I see exactly why that game won Game of the Year. I see why the devs, every other dev out there, is angry at this game because the amount they have in that game. And
but it was also an early access for 3 years.
It is. It's been an early access.
And we got to remember that because even like Maddie's been comparing it Starfield to that, and I appreciate Cog. He's been like, dude, don't forget how long that game was in development beforehand and the early access. I'm not taking anything away from it, but to expect every developer to be able to do that right away or consistently, I get it, Bacon. But at the same time, why can't we just have different games do different things? Like
you have multiple companions. You can go back to your camp and you can pick and choose which companion you want to take out with you. If one of them pisses you off on the last one, like my wizard, he keeps going down. So I benched him and brought in somebody else for a while. Dude, you get to pick your spells. I mean, it is.
I'm happy you're enjoying it, Bacon.
I'm telling you, I'm not going to tell you guys to go buy it because again, it's more of a PC thing. But the game is absolutely extraordinary.
I'm so happy you're enjoying it, guys. I don't really have much to add on what I've been playing. Shout out to Baldur's. I will get to it, Bacon. I promise. I'm going to try it. I just can't drop the money right now. I mean, I could. He's
trying to get that 4080 from Deja for.
Come on, Deja.
Ducats.
Speaking of Deja said, "Look what happens when you don't release too fast. Look at The Last of Us." Oof. Why'd you have to bring up The Last of Us? I was trying to get through the whole show without a expecting game and talk about that. By the way, Bacon, I saw shout out to King David. He was just enjoying his.
You seen his new podcast?
Oh my god! Just
hold the line,
advance the line. It's not hold the line. We're advancing now. I don't really have much to add. I just been playing what you guys said and Remnant and Fallout 76 a little bit. We don't need to talk about that. It's the more I play it, I'm like, now I remember why I stopped playing. It does make me appreciate Starfield so much more, guys. Comparing to Starfield, wow, they made huge leaps, and we have to recognize that. Like, I don't think everyone's like, oh, that janky old Bethesda engine. No, dude, it looks leaps and bounds better. Starfield is like a cyberpunk compared to what Fallout 76 was. And then I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Not really, guys. Let's close the show like we always do with the best food we had this week. I'll go quickly. Last weekend, this past, I don't know, I think it was Saturday, Allie took me out as an early birthday gift to Del Frisco's. And my gosh, you guys, I know I tell you this all the time, but every time I go, it's like I'm having the best last meal of my life. It blows me away. Again, everyone,
you get that mac and cheese, right? What's the lobster?
Everyone, just like Zach Ba and Philip Lindsay on the drive home on 104.3 The Fan, tell them they sent you to Del Frisco's because they have an advertisement over there. The standard order, you get yourself a Moscow Mule. I actually switched it up. I get a Moscow Mule, only a substitute rum for the vodka. Delicious. That's basically a dark and stormy. You get the cheese steak egg rolls. Get 2 of them. They're like $16. Who cares? You get 2 each. You get one for you, one for your significant other. And you're like, wow, these are the best dang cheesesteak egg rolls ever created. The standard order.
$16 per order?
Yes, and it's 4 small egg rolls. This is a very expensive steak place. I'm not going to tell you how much we spent. Again, we go twice a year, if that. And then you get the filet mignon. I bumped it up to the 12-ouncer. And you get the truffle mac and cheese, Jose.
Truffle mac and cheese. That's
what I take it a step further. I love crab cakes. You get the crab cake on top of the steak. Oh my God, you guys. It's just... I think I like the crab cake the most, then the mac and cheese, and then the steak. And the steak's my favorite steak out of anywhere. It's just the flavors, you guys, the flavors. So I could go on and on. Allie gets the same thing, only she got Brussels sprouts, which are also amazing for her side. Shout out. Del Frisco's, Cherry Creek. You go there once a year. Be ready to spend $200 easy. Easy. I mean, easy. Jose, what was the best food you had this week? Oh, wait, I already know. Add it. Let's get it going, Jose.
Oh, I'm super pumped for this. I'm pull up the list here. For the chat, if you want to throw in there what you had this week, we'd love to read those out. Love to see what the chat is eating for sure. But a couple of things I get to add this week, which are great. I had the Del Frisco's of fast food. I got the double-decker taco. It's back at Taco Bell. It was absolutely delightful. It was, like many things from my childhood, not as good as I remember. But it was very nostalgic to have. And the big news I heard this week, Dan, for you and I, is that there's rumors that they're going to bring back the McSnack wrap. Super.
Wait, did you see what it was? It was the snack wrap, not the Mac snack wrap. It's the chicken.
But if they do the one, there's a good chance they're doing the other. That's all I'm saying. But in addition to that, the best thing I actually had Friday, we get to add to count to 2 pizzas to the pizza count because we went to be back to Perry's. My wife had her holiday party there, so I took the girls and we came home and stuff, and she brought us 2 home delicious pizzas, which was actually delightful. And that New Mexican Yankee, if you like it, the white
garlic knot.
The garlic knot's also great. And then the other thing today, I had to go to a meeting for my district at like far away, and I passed through Green Mountain, which is like where we grew up. And I know I had to stop for that breakfast burrito. I had not had one in so long. It was very good. I don't think it's as good as the one on Evans. I don't. I think that one is a better burrito. It's also $4 more expensive on Evans, which is insane. Which is why I don't go there.
It's like a $12 burrito, Jose.
It's like $11.50 something. Like, it's so ridiculous. That's why I rarely go there anymore. I'm gonna have to go there over break though to do a comparison. But it was absolutely delightful. Here's what I would truly say: the burrito was awesome. It's the salsa. I like the salsa way better at Tacos Rapidos on Evans.
I love the salsa. Did you go red? Here's what I do, Jose.
It's always red.
I mix red and green.
You're going Christmas on me. No, I got to go red. Red is where I live because
it's brown, by the way.
Yeah, it's fair. That's how color theory works. But it was a good week, man. Nothing super crazy over the top. But that's certainly coming over here in these holiday weeks. So it was very nostalgic week of food for me, which was great.
Shout out to Deja Vu. He said he tried to get a McRib, but they were gone already. So sad.
There's no rib in the McRib.
By the way, you're not sad. The double quarter pounder is way better. Let's update. We've got 179 subs still. It's 95.
We have 181.
Chicken
I didn't get a check. All right, I have to change right now.
61 breakfast burritos devoured, 7 Chipotle burritos. We got to pump that number up. Those are rookie numbers. 15 Big Macs, QBCs eaten, and 27 pizzas. Very proud of that one. Bacon, what was the best food you had this week?
Best food. That's been a bad week for me. The wife right before dinner made her shrimp scampi.
I
Ooh.
love scampi. That sounds delicious.
Like to put a lot
Del
of
Frisco's at home. All
parm-
right.
like to put a lot of parm on top of my shrimp scampi. Really,
Probably shouldn't be doing that.
but the best thing I've eaten. She at Costco got some of those Lindor chocolates. You know, the holiday
Really?
grab bag with the white
You
chocolate.
know what's funny, Bacon? Allie loves chocolates. She doesn't like those.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Does she like the Ferrero Rocher with the
Yeah,
Oh, she likes
hazelnuts?
the stupid Philadelphia candies. It's from Pennsylvania. It's
I've been
overrated.
eating like total dog crap for like 3 months, and I thought my endocrinologist was going to yell at me, and I had my appointment with her on Tuesday, and she said I'm doing just fine.
Well,
I
there
can
we go.
condemn
All
it
right,
tomorrow.
baby.
Look, there's some people want to ride too. Pick them up.
You guys knew how much Halloween candy I ate? I opened the bag. My wife bought the bag, and I opened it in the steam so
Yeah.
she couldn't see it, and I was fishing out of it for like 4 straight days.
Well,
Up
Bacon.
here gaming, eating a bunch of candy. So I was expecting to get in a lot of trouble, and I didn't. So that's nice. And then breaking news: we can't not put this out here on the podcast. PlayStation has canceled The Last of Us Factions multiplayer is canceled. I can't not let that go, Dan.
I thought we were going to get to it, guys.
I knew it was
Where
coming.
PlayStation
Knew it was coming.
Rest in peace.
Rest in
the
peace, Faction.
PlayStation.
Now Naughty Dog
Last
can get
of
back
Us.
to what they know.
To be fair, I think a multiplayer Last of Us game would have been awesome. I'd much rather prefer that than Last of Us Part 3.
How bad? What state could it have been in? This is wild.
Gentlemen, this has been the Nerd Chat episode 137 Xbox year in review. Thank you so much to Ains, Luke, Deja Vu, I'm sure B, Matt Kennedy, all the normals listening.
And Mitchie Poo last week. We forgot him last
Mitchie
week.
Poo, shout out for everybody. We really do appreciate it. Keep an eye out the next few weeks here with with Christmas and things or New Year's and the holiday break. We will be jumping into the nerdies. Keep an eye out. We will have links sent out to vote, planning on our Game of the Year awards. Probably going to be a little bit further because I've noticed Season Gaming and Trophy Room. They're all kind of that first week. I saw both of them post things. So we'll try to get
Also,
into
go
their
support
space.
them. Great shows.
Absolutely.
Great people.
Again, go listen to Season Gaming, Xbox Expansion Pass, and PS Trophy Room. My name is Daddy DWALLY. You can follow me at Daddy DWALLY across all social media, including Threads. You can follow the show at Nerd Chat Podcast on all social media. Jose, where can people find you?
Find me on X Chipotle_Bear, Instagram at Chipotle Bear, and online at Chipotle Bear. Again, guys, thanks for listening. We had a relatively large group tonight. For our nightly weekly show. If you enjoyed what you saw, a thumbs up is great. Comment is even better, and a subscription, of course, would make our holiday season. But we appreciate you joining us, talking about your gaming, your food. We love our fans, guys. Thank you for what you do.
And Deja Vu, what was he hyped for? And what game was he talking about?
The Last of Us, I assume.
Oh, he's sad. It sucked. Sorry, Deja. Were you really that excited
The
for
game
it?
was awesome, but
I don't know about that. Oh, you know why? Because you guys are big Division guys, huh? And that was probably going to be.
I like Division 2.
I love Division 2. Just go play Division. Heck, I'll jump on with that. Resurgence. X-Bacon Bacon. Where can people find you, my little throat?
you can find me at Xbacon Gaming across all your socials. Thanks to all the people who showed up and showed us support tonight. We really do appreciate it. If you're here this long, then you're at least a friend of ours. So thank you guys, and see you next time.
As always, Nerd Chat, real ones. See you online.
See you online.
See you online.
See you online.
I think I'm getting the black lung, Bob. It's not very well ventilated down there.
The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast, is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. The show was created by Daniel Walenzik, and you can follow him at Daddy DWALLY across all social media. The assistant to the co-host is Jose Martinez, and you can follow him at Chipotle_Bear. The assistant to the co-host is Chance Siegel, and you can follow him at BubbleBoyN7. The intern to the assistant to the co-host is Jason Jarrett, and you can follow him at XBaconGaming. You can also follow the show at The Nerd Chat across all social media. And if you'd like to find out more about the show, visit nerdchatmedia.com.